Welcome to our house and a holiday edition of Amazing Stories Unwrapped, the Facebook live broadcast designed to lift your spirit with good news, to encourage you with life-affirming truths, and to give you an amazing story that will inspire you to triumph over those things that stand in your way, to being all that God has created you to be. You ever feel too small to make a difference in the world? Maybe you wonder if your life really has value. You look around and see others who seem so much more beautiful or talented or gifted or worthy or whatever than you think you are. Most of all, you're painfully aware of your flaws. Maybe you've given up hope on the idea that you could do anything special in your life. Today, I want to challenge such negative thinking. I want to tell you that God specializes in using little people, the sort of folks that are too often dismissed as nobodies, people of limited talent and limited opportunity, people who live in small, out-of-the-way places, who think that they're too small to do great, to do amazing things that would astound the world. Well, I think that's one of the profound messages of this season, that God wants to do great things through little people. I want you to see this amazing story from my book of amazing stories. I call it The Beauty and the Flaws. Slats Grodnick scratched out a few bucks selling Christmas trees. Just before Christmas, when all the trees had been picked over, a ragged couple came into the lot. As they turned over the price tag on each tree, it was obvious to Slats that they didn't have enough money to buy one. Then the woman spied a discarded Scots pine, consigned to the outer darkness of the lot. It didn't look so bad on one side, but it was terribly scrawny on the other. Not far away stood another pitiful tree, with the needles on one side eaten away. The mousy woman whispered something in her skinny husband's ears, and he asked Slats if $3 would be enough to buy both trees. Slats figured that he couldn't sell them anyway, so he agreed. He watched sadly as the couple dragged their two scraggly trees away, leaving a trail of pine needles in their wake. A few evenings later, Slats was walking home when he spied a magnificent Christmas tree in the window of a dilapidated apartment house. The decorations weren't much, but it didn't matter because the tree was so thick and well formed. Then Slats saw the ragged couple sitting on the porch out front. "That's a beautiful tree up in the window," exclaimed Slats. "Yep," replied the man with pride. "That's our tree. Actually, it's the two trees we bought from you." "Well, how can that be?" asked Slats. "I sold you the two worst trees on the lot." "I know," the man responded. Then he smiled at the mousy woman who clung to his skinny arm. "But my missus is clever. She had me work the trees together where the branches are bare. We formed one tree out of the two, and we wired them together. And the branches are so thick, you can't even see the wire." According to Chicago Tribune columnist Mike Royko, Slats Grodnick learned a secret that night. This is what he said: "You take two trees that aren't perfect, that have flaws, might even be homely, and maybe nobody else would want, but if you put them together just right, you can come up with something really, really beautiful." Slats paused to reflect. Like two people, I guess. A skinny guy with a mousy wife and only $3 between them can create a Christmas tree that brings joy to the whole neighborhood. That's what Christmas is. It's the story of God taking the flawed and making it beautiful. The tree trunk becomes a cradle for the King of Kings. A poor fisherman's wooden boat becomes his pulpit. A twisted tree becomes the cross that he uses to save the world. You see, God can wire together an ordinary carpenter, an unwed teenage mother, a handful of shepherds, prostitutes, tax collectors, and a bunch of flawed disciples to tell a Christmas story that brings joy to the whole world and changes it. Christmas is about God bringing beauty out of scrawny and scraggly things, and save us from the self-imposed grandiose sense of our greatness. When you feel like you're just a little person in a little place, take time to remember Slat Grobniak's amazing Christmas story. God delights in using the ordinary to do the extraordinary. I want you to listen to something that St. Paul wrote to an ancient church in the Greek town of Corinth. He says this: God chose things despised by the world, things counted as nothing at all, and he uses them to bring to nothing that what the world considers important. So here's my challenge to you today. Don't let others tell you that you can't do great things or that you can't bring beauty to this world. Don't allow yourself to whisper those negative things to yourself. And don't let dark spiritual forces replay those lies in your ear. You're special, created in the image of a great God, formed by him in your mother's womb to be a great blessing to his world. God never makes junk. He loves you so much that he invaded this world that first Christmas so that he could die on an old rugged cross outside of Jerusalem to redeem you. You are of such inestimable value to God that he moved heaven and earth to make sure that you would bring him glory, that you would make a difference in your world. So you go out and you make a difference today in the life of someone else. Like that skinny gal and his mousy wife. You can take the flaws of your life and turn them into something beautiful. So go out and do it today. And you might also help make somebody else's life beautiful by writing to robertapeterson.org or just going on the Facebook link that Renee has for you on my Facebook page, the Book of Amazing Stories. I wrote this for my non-Christian friends, so it's a great gift to give to people who might not know who Jesus is, or if you're a believer, it'd be a great encouraging book for you or for your family and friends. So do something nice for Christmas. Order this book, the Book of Amazing Stories. If you write to us, we'll sign that book and get it to you as quickly as we can so that you can give it for Christmas, a signed copy from this author. You have a great weekend. Glad you were with me. Go out now and make the world a more beautiful place.